Okay, I wanted to talk about what I see Asatru as, this modern resurgence of Asatru. Remind you, Asatru was a Icelandic religion, Icelandic neo-pagan religion that was revived in about the 70s or something like that, if I remember correctly. Now, what I see is, okay, when I was a kid, there was this movie called The Craft. It was a movie about Wicca, and it was bullcrap. But after this movie came out, everyone became a Wiccan. Every pencil necked goth queer became a Wiccan. Okay, and then Wicca, a whole burgeoning industry about Wicca came about. I never really embraced Wicca because, as I stated in past videos, my father was already a Satanist. And Satanists have a very how can I put this? A very negative view of Wiccans and neo-pagans and pagans and all these how can I put this? These people that are basically lying to themselves, but they're doing it in a how can I put, an edgy way. Asatru is the same thing. What I see with Asatru, yeah, I'm 34, so I've seen more than somebody that's 15 to 20 or whatever. So what I see with Asatru, and I've been paying attention a lot longer than most, since I've been about 4 or 5, I've been paying attention, believe it or not. What I see with Asatru is this Lord of the Rings crap. When that Lord of the Rings crap came about, it revived this RPG LARPing D&D nonsense. Now, what I've seen is I've seen a resurgence of an interest in quote Viking culture. It's not really Viking culture. It's idealized Viking culture of the sagas and mythology. Mythology is not history. So I've seen a re-embrace of that. I've seen a turning toward more of an Odinistic type view, especially amongst pagans. So basically today's Asatruers are yesterday's Wiccans. But what I also see is with these Thor movies, since the first Thor movie came out, I see an embrace, an even stronger embrace of Asatru. Now, what's funny is people do embrace the comic book type mentality of magic and of paganism and of everything else. Most, quote, magicians embrace a very comic booky type of view. Now, as a person that has studied the work of Aleister Crowley, I can tell you most people that study Thelema, or Thelema, which is the magical system of Aleister Crowley, which, as I had stated, Crowley took the method of Buddha, Muhammad, and Jesus, and the yogis, and put it to the scientific method. Nobody ever reads the philosophical aspects of Thelema. Or if they do, they very rarely understand it or try to understand it. And this is because when most people study the occult, or most people study magic, or most people study paganism, they go right to the rituals and they forget the rest. Everybody likes to play dress up, everybody likes to be spooky, and everybody likes to have fun. But what they do not want to do is think. Nobody ever wants to think. Now, with this comic book mentality, what you have is this embrace of Thor, Ragnarök, and all this crap. Now, what you have to understand about Thor is created by Stan Lee. Stan Lee is a propagandist. Things like the X-Men are propaganda. They were multiculturalist propaganda that basically saw Charles Xavier as Mr. X. You see little sneaky things hidden all throughout Marvel Comics to push a leftist agenda. You have all sorts of crap, but I mean, you can actually look it up. Stan Lee did utilize the X-Men as a means to support the Black Civil Rights Movement. Captain America is to encourage an anti-German sentiment to this day, because obviously Stan Lee's a Jew, and most of Marvel Comics people are Jews or guilty whites that hate white people and hate Germans. Modern black Captain America fights the so-called KKK, but the conservatives over illegal immigration. There's a whole thing about that. So what you have is you have people, these Wiccans of yesterday, embracing the Asatru of today, embracing Marvel Comics ideas of Asatru. And by the way, you people talking about the 9 virtues, they ain't nothing compared to the 7 tenets and 5 codes of Tung Sudo. I find it hilarious because these 9 virtues are absolute. It's a joke. It's like saying that, well, because we have these 9 virtues, this makes us a legitimate thing. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's just crap written down. Anybody can write anything down. The funny thing is, I never see anybody actually living these things. They like to tell me, are you living the 9? Well, no, I'm not, because I'm not an Asatruer. But flat out, that's what I see. I see this as nothing more than a resurgence of the same crap as when I was a kid with the whole Wicca movement and the whole neo-pagan movement. It's the same crap, and that's all it is.